What is up, everybody? TheHunterGT with TheHunterGT.com. Go check us out over on our website. We've got a cool forum, got some rad stuff going on over there on the website, www.TheHunterGT.com. Well, here it is, finally, long overdue. The T2 Classic review is here. 13 kilohertz, 3.6 pounds. Very ergonomic. You can swing this thing all day. It is just, it sits in your hand like butter. It is so ergonomic. Runs on 4 AA batteries right in the back here. Gives you a nice 40 hours of usage out of 4 AA batteries. How about that? 40 hours. You can swing this detector on 4 AA batteries right in the back. 1/4-inch headphone jack right there, adjustable arm cuff right here, and it's a very nice arm cuff. Kind of looks space age. I like how it's got 3 sections. I like how they cut through it there. It's got the side foam, the bottom piece. It looks real nice. T2 logo right there on the side. Nice green paint job. I love this detector. If I only had to pick one detector out of all the detectors I've reviewed and owned, guys, this is it so far. The T2 Classic, $499. I got this from Craig at Show Me Treasure. I am going to go ahead and give him another shout out. Craig at www.showmetreasure.com. He got this to me for an incredible price. So give him a what's up and contact him for a great deal on these T2 Classics. All right, so let's keep going here. We got a nice foam arm or foam grip, not the arm pad, foam grip here. Very nice display here, easy to read. Menu button right there, and a settings dial that goes clockwise and counterclockwise. So real easy to run through the menu. You just got one button there. You got that there. You have a trigger here on bottom. So hopefully that's coming in the video. So as you're holding it, you press it forward with your finger to ground balance it, so pumping the coil and all that right now. And then you pull it to pinpoint. That's your pinpoint mode, and it gives you a depth reading on the display in inches. So yeah, real neat. Once you use that trigger on the bottom, you never want to go back. I mean, the way they have this set up with the trigger, the one button, and the dial, oh man, it's great. I love it. You don't need just a ton of buttons all over it. I mean, I don't mind that either. It doesn't bother me either. But yeah, once you use that trigger, you're going to wish it was on every detector. One more thing about this arm cuff here, you can bend it in and out. It is solid metal, and in the manual it says, you know, you can bend it in if you have really thin forearms, or you can open it up if you have Popeye arms. You know, you can bend it, don't want to overstress it, break it, anything like that. But yeah, here we go. So nice S-curved aluminum, nice green paint job on it there with the pistol grip. Coil cable connector on the back, no speaker on the back right here. It is actually underneath right there. So that is where the speaker is. Middle pole right here, 2 locking collars, one upper one lower one, middle black aluminum pole there, your lower plastic resin shaft right there with your coil bolt going right through it. Comes with 2 washers, comes with the 11-inch DD coil. And it is quite a sensitive coil. Even though it is large, boy, it will hit a BB at quite a few inches. I'll show you that in some air testing coming up. Quite a sensitive coil. Great on separation, great on unmasking, even though it's an 11-inch, and this thing's recovery speed inside here, the brains, is just super fast. Super crazy fast. Just a great detector, guys. Like I said, if I can only pick one out of all the detectors I've used, T2 Classic would definitely be it, and I've reviewed quite a few detectors. I love this detector. It is great. So there it is, 13 kilohertz, just like the F70 and the F75. A lot of talk about them being the same or similar. Not true. I have quite a few hours on this detector and quite a few on the F70 as well, sitting over in there in the corner. So let me tell you that no, they are not the same. Way different. They may be 13 kilohertz, they may be off the same, you know, process and whatever, but the F75, the T2, and the F70 are 3 different monsters, and they are very sensitive, all very fast, all great on recovery. They all have that in common, that they're all great detectors, but when it comes down to the menu and the settings and the way you can fine-tune each one, totally different, totally different. So enough talk about them being brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever. this is definitely a standalone. The T2 Classic, there's really nothing else like it other than the T2 LTD, I guess, with the boost and all that. But $499 for this one. What do you say we get into the menu and get into the air testing? Because this is one nice detector, real easy. I'm probably going to fly through the menu section. There's not a lot to it as far as setting it up. What really might take me a bit is the testing. So a lot of guys are probably like, all right, well, we love more testing. Shut the hell up, Hunter, so we can get to the testing. All right, well, let's fly through the menu. We'll get to the testing because discrimination and sensitivity on this kind of play into each other. It's almost like you get little mini boosts, and it doesn't have a boost process on it like the LTD, but something similar maybe, and I'll show you what that's all about coming up here. All right, let's get to this menu. T2 Classic coming at you. Alright guys, so right away with the detector turned off, we see quite a bit of information on the display here. We have rock, iron, foil, 5 cent, pull tab, we have zinc, screw cap, 10 cent, 25 cents. So we have categories across it right away. Along the top, I'm not sure if it's coming in on camera, but it'll say 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So it breaks it up where the ID is up here. So if you have a nickel, it's going to ring up between 50 and 60 there at a 58 on this machine. So it shows you not only the numbers along the top here, but categories as well. And then let's go ahead and turn it on here real quick. We'll see right away it's going to bump through some codes here. So first thing, let's turn it back off. Turn it back on. First 2 digits, 0616. So this was made in June of 2016. That's your serial number that pops up right now and your date code. So right away you see the battery symbol on this side. The meter went all the way up. We have our ID right in the middle there. We're showing up a 51 there. So we got some, it's a pipe or something underneath me here that it's picking up, or a galvanized nail or something like that. So you see this little arrow here. It's picking up in the foil range, which is right above iron. Iron stops at 40. So it's picking it up right at 43 there. Let's see if we can, there we go. There's something underneath there, underneath the carpet there. So as you can see, it'll say target ID, and it's giving us a 31 and a little arrow there. So the arrow pops up in 3 ways. A small arrow means it's shallow, or a shallow signal, or a weak signal. You'll see another arrow come on top of it, and you'll see that that's a stronger signal. And then 3, like it's doing right there, you just saw, see how it's doing it right there on top? That means you have a very strong signal when it's the 3rd largest triangle there. All right, so bumping through, and real quick, here's our mineralization meter right here on the left, or on the right hand side. So when you pump the coil, you're going to get that bar that goes up, and it'll show you how mineralized your soil is, basically. Right here, messages, bottom right, you're going to see things that says pump coil or overload, things like that will show up right here if you fail the ground balance, or you're not pumping your coil during ground balancing. Let's go ahead and show you that. See how it says pump coil to ground grab, or to GC there. So little messages show up in that box there, something to keep an eye on. All right, right here we have discrim, sensitivity, disc level, number of tones. On the left hand side we have our all metal mode options. You see how it says all metal and discrim. We can go back and forth like that with this setting. So we're in all metal. You'll see the little arrow there, and then you'll see the little arrow go to the right side there where it says discrim. So we can just go back and forth like that. All right, so let's stay on the discrim side to start it off. We'll hit menu, and we're at sensitivity. Starts us off right at 60. We hit it again, and we are at disc level of 10, and we hit it again, and we have number of tones. We hit it one more time, and we're back up top there where we can switch. Moving this now takes us from discrim to all metal. So let's hit it one more time. We're at sensitivity. So the settings knob here takes us from 0 all the way up to 99. We'll go ahead and keep it low right now at 60 where it starts us off. And that's not low. Let me tell you, 60 is just fine. You can hit 8-inch coins all day in the dirt at 60. And I'm going to show you even at like 40 sensitivity. You don't have to have high sensitivity on this. There's some strange stuff going on inside here. So that's how you change the sensitivity right here. With your setting knob, we'll hit menu again. We are at disc level, and we can change it all the way up to 80 or all the way down to 0. And listen what happens when we go to 0. Here we are at 1, right? So let's listen at 0 here. So right away, you hear us getting a lot of chatter there, and you can see it too. Watch what's happening once we just go up just a little bit. Still some chatter, but it really calms down. as you raise the disc level. See it? It's really calming down as I go up. And at 10, it's pretty much eliminated unless I go to sensitivity and really bump it up, and then I can bring it up. Now we are indoors right now. We are indoors. I have never really had interference with this. This does not have DST, the digital shield technology on this T2 Classic. The LTD version does. And they are doing their upgrade program right now, as a matter of fact. So you can send your T2 Classic in and your T2 SE and get it upgraded to an LTD. So pretty cool, pretty cool. So as long as we keep our sensitivity and our disc raised up a little bit, even indoors, you're not going to get much chatter at all. That's how it works. Settings. I'll go to more into this with air testing, the disc and sensitivity relation here. So next one down is tones. Starts off at 1, which is just one single tone, no matter where you're at. Kind of like an all metal discrimination mode where all metals are going to show up as a single tone here. So next one, 1 plus. That is kind of like a VCO tone that you hear on some detectors. The closer the target or the larger the target, the louder the signal. The deeper the target or the smaller the target, the fainter the signal. That's what that plus stands for. So now we go from 1 plus to 2 plus. So now this is 2 tone, low tone for iron, and that VCO type tone for everything else, depending on the strength of the signal or the depth of the target or the size of the target, basically. That's what that plus stands for. So now we have 3, which is 3 tone, low tone for rock and iron, mid tone for your gold range from foil up to zinc penny, and then for your 10 cent, 25 cent, your silver range, you're going to get that high tone, okay? It kind of struggles on bottle caps with this DD coil in the 3-tone mode. The bottle caps, you know, crown caps from Bud Light bottles or whatever, they will ring up as a quarter or a dime oftentimes. Well, how do we alleviate that? There's ways to wiggle the coil and go back and forth, but on this T2, we can move over. Now we're in 3B. That B stands for bottle cap. So now we know when we go over a bottle cap, because the ID is really going to jump. It's going to say 73, 85, 99, 22, 18, 94. It's going to sound, you know, like a football quarterback, basically. So it's not going to repeat the same number, an 83, 83, 83, 83 that a dime will give you. Or a quarter is an 88, 88, 88 on this machine all day long. I know it's a quarter if it's an 88. Well, if I'm not in 3B, if I'm in 3 or 2 plus or whatever, oftentimes it may be to the point where it shows up real steady. Putting it in 3B mode will alleviate that, and bottle caps and a bottle cap heavy park will start to break up on the ID. So pretty neat. 4-tone is going to set a high tone on the zinc penny bottle cap range there, on the twist top range there. So a lot of old coins will ring up in the zinc range, and you don't want to miss those. You know, if you're in an 1800 site, a lot of old coins are going to ring up in the zinc range, non-silvers there, and you definitely don't want to miss those. So we'll associate or assign a high tone right there as well to the zinc range, okay? And then we go one more over on the tone, and we are in DP. That stands for delta pitch, and that means each ID on the 0 to 99 is going to have a different tone assigned to it. So it's basically 99 tones. It's full tones, basically. You hear a lot of guys on other machines swear about, oh, full tones, full tones. Well, DP, delta pitch, is the same thing. It's full tones. You have a tone for each ID. A lot of guys swear by it, that they can tell, you know, there's a joke going on in some forums that guys can tell dates of coins with the delta pitch, so, or with full tones. So there you go. And then if we go, that's it, and then we can go back that way and cycle through them left to right or clockwise, counterclockwise on the setting. All right, so we want to get back over to all metal. We can do that 2 ways. We can hold down menu and see it bumps us right over to all metal. Hold it down again, and it bumps us back over to the same spot. See how it went back down to tones of the discrimination one now. Or we can go back up, cycle back up our menu to here and use this, okay? So once we're here now in all metal, we have sensitivity on this side, and we can adjust it just like we have sensitivity over here on the disc mode. They do not carry over. You can set your sensitivity here way high, and then hold menu, jump back over. I'm at 34 or whatever on my disc mode, so I can, let's go back to 34. There we go. So I hold down menu, jump back over to all metal, and I can have my sensitivity higher if I want to check a deep ID or a deep target or whatever. Hit it again. We have our hum level, which is basically threshold. We can go +9 and get that real big hum, or we can go all the way to -9. Don't spin your dial too fast or it won't work. There you go, to -9. Excuse me. And you can hear it's quite silent. So as we raise it up, you can hear it just start to come in. And we're getting a little threshold there at 0. Alright, hit it one more time. And we have our manual ground control, manual ground balance, your ground phase settings. So we adjust that there. We can go from 0 all the way up to 99. And we can adjust our ground balance right there manually. Or we can quick grab in either disc or all metal by pushing that trigger forward and pumping the coil like that. Alright, so that is it as far as the settings. One last thing, you can adjust the frequency, a frequency switch, by holding down menu here for just a second. Hold down menu and then right away push or pull on the trigger, and you see F5 show up. I can cycle through F6, F7, and if I want to go backwards I just push the trigger forward. See, I can go back to F6. You got to press the menu button each time you want to do it. Back to F5 now, back to F4. So I can go from F1 through F7. If I'm getting bad EMI, you know, I'm getting it pretty bad right here, I can adjust through the frequencies and find which one is the best. Although right now I'm next to 2 running computers, a wireless modem, it's not going to get great right now. So that is the menu, guys. That is pretty much it in a nutshell. How to shift through the frequency, how to adjust through all the settings. You have your messages, your battery meter right here, full battery right there. You can see a couple bars on the mineralization meter. When I pumped the coil, it probably picked up a nail underneath there, and you can see it's jumping around ID right now because we're getting a little bit of interference, and we can always get rid of that just by lowering the sensitivity way down, and we are good to go. Alright guys, that is the menu. That is how you use it. What do you say we start getting some numbers and testing some recovery speed? We'll run it through a few hoops and loops and see what this Teknetics T2 Classic can do. Okay guys, here we are for the testing. Real quick, we're going to get the BB out of the way because you can hear it. It's really chattery right now. I have it cranked up to 99, and you're never going to run it this high almost anywhere other than like gold prospecting or relic hunting. In most parks or something, 80, 85 is plenty. So we're maxed out. We're getting a lot of EMI, but listen, a small BB, this can be used for gold prospecting. You do get an ID on this machine in all metal. So here we go. 2 inches, 3 inches, no problem. You can hear it's not EMI. That's the EMI there. 3 inches, we can definitely hear it. 4. Yep. 5. Nothing at 5. It's pretty much EMI. So out to 4 inches on a BB in all metal mode cranked up. So let's go up to something like a silver quarter here real quick. I don't really like to do all metal tests. I like to keep it in disc because that's where I hunt 90% of the time. So silver quarter, we are clear out. We're getting it at 11 inches. Without the EMI, I think we'd definitely be able to hear it at 12. So 11 inches on the silver quarter, silver dime, pretty common. 7, 8, no problem. 9, yes. 10. That's not EMI. Listen to the EMI and then listen to my hand. So 9.5, 10, definitely. All right, and then something like a big dollar here, a huge coin I just got. Well, after a foot, 13 inches or so, we can still hear it. Okay, so that's enough of all metal. I just want to show you, I do plan on actually using this for prospecting this year along with her F19, which is very similar to a Goldbug Pro or a G2 Plus. So small BB again, 3-4 inches in all metal. Okay, so I'm going to go set it up to the disc where I would pretty much run it, and let's get into some air testing. Okay guys, here we are in disc mode. A little chattery, Not sure if you can hear that or not. A little bit chattery. I have it all the way up to 99 indoors. And it's only that chattery. Disc, I run it, it's right at 55. So this detector gets a little bit of a boost from 50 to 59 in the nickel range right there. It gets a little bit of a boost and actually is susceptible to EMI. And I'll show you after the end of the air test here. I'm going to do quite a bit of cuts here because I'm going to do different settings in here and show you guys some different stuff. It's a really cool detector. So right now I'm in kind of like a little mini boost mode is what I call it. So it will pick up nickel range, and this range, it appears like gold range, a little bit hotter for some reason. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. Right now the BB's notched out, can't really, or not notched out, there's no notch on this detector, but dissed out. I got it up to 50. So let's start big here. Big dollar coin here. See what we get at 12 inches. Well, we're definitely getting it. I got it in 1 plus, 2 plus, I want to say. So we're definitely getting it about 12, 13 inches. Then we start to get a little bit of chatter. So I'm pretty much taking it right into the chatter until we can't hear that. So let's start. This is a $half, 10 inches. Definitely hear that. 11, no problem. 12, still hearing it. We can hear the chatter a little. We can definitely hear that at 12 inches on the $half. Silver quarter. Real strong at 7, 8. Real close, you get that duck quack. So this is what deep targets sound like right here. 7, 8 inches. If you're in 2 plus. Alright, so we're getting little cracks and pops. 9, 10. We can still hear it actually out to 11 or 12. A lot of those vets will dig those crazy deep targets like that. Here's a next size down, a nickel. Real strong signal out to 8, 9, 10. So as you can see, it really likes that gold mid-range. 11. And starting to break up at 12. So most coins are starting to break up at 12. A little bit of EMI here as well. Like I said, quite a bit actually indoors. I'm in my bedroom right now. The kitchen was a little bit too much. So silver dime. 9 inches. 10. And it starts to cut out about 10 for a small silver dime. Zinc penny. High gold range. High gold range. Still hearing it at 11. And it starts to cut off at 12 like normal. Copper penny. Starting to cut off. Alright, let's go to some other objects here. Check out this big old 1800s 3-ring bullet here from the war down in Texas there. Alright. 10 inches. 11. Definitely hear it at 12 still. So when you hear those stories, oh, I got that bullet at 12 inches, Civil War spot or whatever, well, it's definitely true with the T2 Classic. So here is a silver ring. All the way out to 11, 12 inches. Really good at 9, 10. Can really hear it. 11, 12, it really starts to break up. Here we go with a little small gold locket. Half a locket. 7, 8. Breaking up at 8. So not much gold there. Not much gold in this ring either. At 10K, look at how thin that is. A 10K women's band there. So super thin. I mean, just crazy thin. Not much gold here at all. Let's see. 7, 8. Starting to break up. 7-8 inches roughly on that. So pretty good. A foot on most large normal coins. You know, European coins are pretty big. They're like this, a lot of those European coins, but a lot of them are real thin too. Huge detector in Europe, Africa. So this detector is worldwide. I'm trying to get a bunch of different stuff in all my air tests here. Obviously, you guys know me. I like to really run it through the paces. So sensitivity is all the way up to 99, disk at 55. I could go down to disk 0, but it really starts to chatter. I'm going to show you a trick here where really sensitivity is not everything on this machine, and I'm going to try to lower the disk as low as I can go until I'm getting it pretty low to about 0. And then I'm going to run the sensitivity down to about 60 on this. Right when it starts up, it runs disk 10. I'm going to bump that down to 0 and leave it at 60, and we'll just run a few objects on there. I'm going to show you some pretty impressive results still out to the 8, 9, 10 inch range on some low disk settings. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're at disk 0. I'm going to prove it. Here's the little BB now. Check this. Disk 0, sensitivity 60. So it starts off at disk 10, sensitivity 60. So you don't need to go clear up to 99 to go deeper. I mean, it will help you go deep, yes, absolutely. But watch this at 60, disk 0. So we're in discrimination mode. You can hear the grunt. 2 inches. 3 inches. Look, sideways there. I'm not lying. 3 inches. 4 inches. We're still getting a little bit there. So sensitivity, I'm not going to say it really hurts the T2, but yes, like most detectors, you raise the sensitivity up, you're going to lose some depth. But at 50 to 59, there's a little bit of a boost. Disk 0 to 10, there's quite a bit of a boost. Disk 0, there's a huge boost. I hate to call it boost because it's not the boost process that the LTD, but an increase. You're going to get an increase in sensitivity and depth as your discrimination lowers. Okay, so let's look at this gold ring. Remember this gold ring was at what? 8 inches, it was starting to pop out, 8, 9 inches. Okay, let's listen to it now at 60%. That was at 99 sensitivity earlier. So here it is at 60 sensitivity. 6, 7, 8, 9. Clear out to 10 inches, we're getting pops, whispers. And it's a nice tone still. So let's try this silver dime. See how it's not so crackly like it was before when the disc was up there in the 50s? So we're still only getting about 9 inches on it. Silver quarter, 9, 10 inches. So you can see on the silver quarter now I'm not getting those pops at 11, 12 anymore because my sensitivity is a little bit lower and that boost isn't up there like it was when you're in disk 50. Like I said, disk 50, 51, you really get a boost on some objects. Some you don't. Like right now the gold is really going higher. I'm actually getting less on the silver range now on my coin targets. Look, 10 inches on a $50 at disk 0. So let's try this big coin. We were getting real good pops at 12, 13 before. Definitely at 12. Look at 12 now because my sensitivity is lower, but my disk is lower. So certain objects that disk low, gold objects and such. Look at this little locket now. I'm getting pops on it. Clear out to 8, 9. Okay, so now we're going to try to keep it at disk 0 and go as high as we can on sensitivity, and this will be pretty much the max settings, as hot as it will go. Okay. Okay, caught it with my air conditioner off or my heater off in the house. So it's up to 99, 0 disk. A little bit of chatter there. Let's try the BB here. Look at the BB now. 4. Now I'm getting the BB. I can hear it at 5 inches. So that's what the sensitivity, it's allowing those smaller objects now to come in much deeper. Here's a small locket. We're up to 7, 8, 9, 10 inches. 10 inches on that small locket. I don't think any detectors ever hit that out to 10 inches yet that I've reviewed. Here's that gold ring. Look at that gold ring is hitting so hard now. Look at 10 inches. Listen. So there's really some combinations here with the disc 0 is what you want all the time. If you can handle the iron grunts and you can handle the noise, even if you're at an EMI heavy spot, if you can handle it, disc 0 is where you want to be. You're going to get the loud or a loud beep on the targets deep. Even with the EMI, you can still cut through it and hear that. You can still hear the chatter. You can hear the chatter. It's not too bad. But you can definitely make that out at 9, 10, 11, 12. Listen at a 12. You're digging that if you think that's gold at 10, 11. Okay, even through the chatter. So really good detector, guys. Here's that bullet. 10, 11. So it's about the same on the bullet. Not much has changed on any of the disc settings there. Let's try a nickel here. Boy, it loves that gold range. Look at that, 11, 12. I can hit 13, we're still hearing it. So let's try the big coin. Now we're really getting hits out at 12, 13. So silver range targets, you need high sensitivity, as you can see. Changing it down didn't really affect these much. If anything, lowering the sensitivity made these worse. However, gold range targets and this sensitivity doesn't really matter so much on these. The BB, yes, it's so small, sensitivity matters. On these, what you're looking for is on the gold, not the silver here. The gold, this nickel here, these three objects here in the gold range. Let's try the zinc penny. Yep, way out there. 10, 11, getting pops at 12. All right, so it's starting to get chattery there again. You can really hear it starting to pick up there. So anyways, gold range objects like this, guys, disc. You want low disc, you're really going to reach, these are going to go further with low disc. With the silver range, clad targets, clad coins or whatever, you're looking at, you want high sensitivity. So if you can get low disc, high sensitivity, of course that's best. Duh, right? Duh, Hunter, low disc, high sensitivity, duh, right? It's going to be high power. But you can kind of mess around with them. The discrimination on this machine doesn't really kill too much. We're only looking at, you know, an inch here or there, 2 inches here or there on some objects. If you're a gold hunter though, you're disking low anyways. You know that some gold's going to land in high iron range. So this detector, it's almost like a smart detector. They really put a lot, you know, Dave Johnson, who created it, John Gardner, they really put a lot of thought into this detector. If you're hunting low disc items where you need to disc a little bit lower, nickels, you know, things like that you can't disc high, it automatically boosts the sensitivity on that range when you run low disc. And then these targets right here, they don't really matter if you disc high or low. They seem to kind of care more about sensitivity on those targets there. So sensitivity on your clad targets, disc on your low targets, combination of both, play around with them. Like I said, zero disc, you get a huge boost in sensitivity and depth on a lot of targets, especially these gold range ones. And then from 50 to 59, I've noticed one too, it will all of a sudden just start chattering from 50 to 59, leading me to believe it's allowing EMI to come in, meaning that the sensitivity or something like that is at a boost right there. And a lot of the times I will hunt this. Let's go ahead and do it real quick here on camera real quick. I'm going to show you my settings. I don't want anybody to think I'm lying. So right now, sensitivity, hopefully that's coming in here. Sensitivity 99, disc 0. Let's go ahead and bump disc all the way up to 80. So disc 80, as high as it goes. Sensitivity is still at 99. Let's go ahead and try just a few more. Sorry for the long video, but I want you guys to really comprehend how it really is different with disc and with sensitivity. So let's try this big coin again. Sensitivity's high, disc high. And see, we're still getting it out at 12, 13 because it likes discrimination, or it doesn't care about discrimination. It likes sensitivity being high. So this is actually a good coin shooter at high disc 80. A lot of people, oh, Hunter never disc so high to 80. Well, with this T2 Classic, look, it doesn't really matter if I'm coin shooting. Silver quarter, same spot, starting to fade out at 11, 12. Silver dime, watch, it's gonna fade out about 9-10 inches. 9-10 inches, starts to fade. Same, I'm at 99 sensitivity, so let's check these ones now that my disc is way high at 80. Well, this is gone. The gold's gone right away, right? Nickel's gone. Well, everything's gone. So that's why I'm saying, I mean, that's a dumb moment, right, guys? It's all gone, Hunter. Of course, it's going to be gone at 80. Well, this machine knows that as your disc raises, the band that's raising, it's almost like the band or the arc curve that's raising on disc. That range is going to get a boost until it just like cuts off. It's almost like it's raising, and then it just, once you hit its disc point, like the nickel at 58, it's just going to drop off a cliff and it's no longer detected, while the targets above the disc point don't really have any relation as far as depths, high disc above 80 where you can't go. I hope that makes sense, guys. A lot of babbling in this video. I'm just going to go ahead and shut up right there. T2 Classic. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's quite the detector. Let's pick it up here. Take a look at it. It's just a fun detector. Boy, that's annoying. You hear that? That's the overload signal. So there you guys go. You got to hear that beforehand. Ground balance, like I said, with the trigger pinpointing here. You guys know how pinpointing works over the target. Ground balance, pump the coil right there. Love the trigger. Love this detector. As you can see, super sensitive, even with the 11-inch DD, hitting the BB at 5 inches there. Bonkers. So I have the 5x10 coil as well for this. I am going to do some gold prospecting with this and with her F19. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I know it's a long one, a lot of babbling, but there's so much with the disc and sensitivity settings, the way they talk to each other. You don't really get that on a lot of other detectors. Yeah, on a lot of detectors, oh, you raise the disc, it just drops off on everything. This one, not so much. That gold range loves low disc. Silver range doesn't really matter about disc. It's all about sensitivity. So you can run, if you're a jewelry hunter, run low disc on this at 0, and then you don't need a lot of sensitivity. 60, 70, you're good to go on all those gold and nickel items that you want, you jewelry hunters, you Civil War relic hunters. That middle range lead and all that is going to be right there for you deep. And then if you want those deep silver coins or deep coin hunting stuff, well, just crank your sensitivity up from there and you'll get that deep stuff. Duh, makes sense, right? Well, the way it talks, I think you noticed it in the test here, the way it talks, the sensitivity in the disc and that 50 to 59 boost mode, it's really neat, guys, really neat. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not going to do it too long. I'm going to bust out the recovery speed, separation, all that in another video coming up. I'm going to milk it and make a two-part type video, but that's the review of the T2 Classic, $499. Got this one from Craig at showmetreasure.com. Make sure you go hit up TheHunterGT.com, because TheHunterGT is signing off. I will see you on the next video.